The NBA has this deep obsession, but it's not really about winning, it's about potential. Teams are always chasing what a player could be. They get blinded by stuff like height, wingspan, or raw athleticism. But what happens when a player who's already a proven winner doesn't check those boxes? How does a guy with a stack of championships on his resume just get ignored? This is the story about how the league's whole system is built to miss a certain kind of greatness. It's the story of 32 picks, 32 chances to grab a guy who could change your franchise, all wasted. This is the story of Jalen Brunson. Look, to get how the entire league got Jalen Brunson so wrong, you gotta go back to the beginning. Yeah, he was the son of an NBA pro, Rick Brunson, but nothing was handed to him. It was all earned. His whole career was built on one simple, relentless idea. The magic is in the work. This guy was McDonald's All-American. He was Illinois Mr. Basketball. Led his high school to a state title. Then he gets to Villanova and the winning just gets louder. In 3 years, he wasn't just playing, he was dominating. And what happened? The national championships. By his last year, the dude was pretty much untouchable. He swept pretty much every big award, the Naismith, the John R. Wooden Award for National Player of the Year. His resume, it was perfect. That should have been an automatic lottery pick. So, what the heck happened? The 2018 NBA draft. This was supposed to be his night. Instead, it just put a spotlight on how messed up the league's priorities are. That obsession with potential meant that when teams looked at Jalen Brunson, all they saw were his limits. Too short, not a crazy athlete. They called him a quote-unquote finished product. Think about that. They were valuing a guy's height over his proven skill to actually, win. So the picks start coming in, one by one. 32 names called before his. Finally, way down in the second round, the Dallas Mavericks grabbed him with the 33rd pick. A born winner, treated like an afterthought. But for Brunson, that disrespect wasn't a roadblock. Instead, it fueled him. His first 4 years in Dallas, they were pretty solid. He proved he belonged in the league, but he was always stuck in the shadow of a once-in-a-generation talent in Luka Doncic. He was the dependable co-pilot, the steady hand on the wheel. Then came the 2022 playoffs, and Luka Doncic gets hurt. Dallas' entire season about to go down the drain. So Brunson, he had no choice. He had to take over. And he didn't just step up. He exploded. Dropped 41 points in his first full game without Luka. He wasn't the co-pilot anymore. He was the pilot. And that sent a message to the whole league. This guy they thought was a backup, he could carry a team all by himself. So that summer, he signs this huge deal with the New York Knicks. And right away, the critics lost their minds. Everyone was saying that they were overpaying him, calling it a desperate move by a desperate team. Man, they could not have been more wrong. From the second he put on that orange and blue jersey, Jalen Brunson changed everything. He didn't just play for the Knicks, he became the Knicks. He was their heart, their engine, their undisputed leader. His very first year, he gets them their first playoff series win in a decade. But that was just the start. This season, he threw the entire franchise on his back and did what nobody thought was possible. He led the Knicks to their first NBA championship in 53 years. So Brunson didn't just live up to that big contract. He made it look like one of the biggest steals in the league. And the personal awards, they just kept rolling in. He became a 3-time All-Star and a guy you could always find on the All-NBA second team. Then, you get to this year's playoffs. To top off an already legendary run, he put the team on his back and got named Finals MVP. Doing that put him in this super exclusive club with guys like Nikola Jokic, Dennis Johnson, and another Knicks legend, Willis Reed, as one of the only players ever to win Finals MVP after being a second-round pick. And as a cherry on top, in the game that won the title, he dropped 45 points. That puts him right next to Michael Jordan as one of the only players to do that in a finals clincher away from home. It was just legendary. And it proved once and for all that skill, footwork, and a will that just won't break means a heck of a lot more than another inch on a measuring. I mean, go back and look at that 2018 draft board. Count them up. 32 picks before Jalen Brunson. And ask yourself, how many of those guys have even a little piece of his success? How many of them are 3-time All-Stars? How many are the face of their team? A champion, a Finals MVP? The story isn't over yet, but the verdict is in. Jalen Brunson is the biggest mistake of that draft. He's the exception that proves the rule. And he's the hero the Knicks waited 53 long years for. Because in the end, the magic, it was always in the works.